Welcome to this training video on publishing content onto the Archives at Yale platform. Archives at Yale is the public user interface of the ArchivesSpace software. It connects directly to the staff side of ArchivesSpace. This makes publishing and editing finding aids a quick and easy process. New content, whether a new resource record or additions to existing resources, can be displayed to the public within seconds. A default setting in the ArchivesSpace staff interface will determine whether the new content you create is immediately added to the public interface or not. Because creating a finding aid is a lengthy process that requires many revisions before it is ready to be shared, you should set your default to not publish. This will give you greater control to roll out your finding aid to the public only as it is ready. To verify your default settings, go to the upper right corner of your ArchivesSpace staff account, click on the drop-down menu next to your username, and select My Repository Preferences. For the most of us, selecting My Global Preferences will lead to an error message, so we want to select My Repository Preferences. And here, you want to make sure that the box Publish is unchecked. If the default Publish box is checked, pretty much all the content you add to the staff interface will be instantly visible to the public. There are exceptions to this. Internal fields like repository processing notes or Preservica metadata for digital preservation workflows will always be private. We have a section on this in our LibGuide. So after having verified that your staff account is set to not publish, whenever you create a new archival record at any level of description, whether it's a new collection, a new series, a new file, the publish box within the level of description will appear unchecked automatically. The same goes for finding in notes. If you were to add a new note, you would see that it would not automatically publish, and that's what we want. Let's say you have now completed a finding aid for the Jane Doe papers. You've been working on it for a few days in your staff account, but if you were going to search for it in the Archives at Yale database, it would not appear yet. And that is because, of course, you've set your default to not publish, and you have to elect to publish a finding aid before it goes live. So if you're ready to publish the Jane Doe finding aid, you go to the collection level page in your staff account. There's a very easy one-step process. You select Publish All at the top over the collection title, and you just click on it. As the name suggests, the Publish All button will publish all of your resource record. That means the collection level description and all the child records like the series, the subseries, and the files. It will also publish all the finding aid notes that are recorded in the notes field, like biographical statement, abstract, information about access, and so on. A green banner here will confirm the publication of the finding aid. Okay. After waiting a minute or two for ArchivesSpace to do its magic, you may use the View Publish button that just appears next to Publish All to be directed to the Archives at Yale public interface and see your finding aid live, almost immediately. There it is. You may wonder, why couldn't you simply check the Publish box here in your collection level record instead of clicking the Publish All button? And because then the public would only see the collection level record, like the summary, biographical statement, and abstract, but not any information about the series, subseries, and file in the hierarchy below in your finding aid. So let's just see what that would do. So looking at your resource record, you might be tempted to tick the box Publish here instead of Publish All and save. After a few seconds, you would click on View Publish to be directed to the Archives at Yale public interface and see the finding aid. And you would notice that you're missing the list of series and files on the side, and that you cannot access the tabs Collection Organization and Container Inventory. And that is because you only got the general collection level description by clicking on this Publish button instead of the Publish All. So the Publish All function is the only way to publish the full hierarchy of your finding aid. When instead you play with the Publish box here at every level of description, you have to remember two key principles. Publishing a parent record, like the collection or a series or a sub-series, will not automatically publish the child record like the files underneath the series. But if you unpublish a parent record, that automatically unpublishes the child record. So you cannot have just one file published on the Archives at Yale platform without its corresponding series. While this sounds confusing, the system was so designed to allow some flexibility in what you publish, and so that you cannot accidentally display information about an orphan item without its associated collection for context. I hope this video was helpful in demystifying the publication of archival description on the Archives at Yale platform. If you would like more information about using Archives at Yale, please consult the Training and Documentation team's LibGuide. Thank you.